I'm Jim Lowenstern.
And I am Diana Doherty. How are you?
I hope you can see us. I left my camera at home today, so we're using my GoPro.
Yes.
Doesn't this look great?
I'm sure we look awesome.
Yeah, well, it could always be a radio show if it's really that bad.
Sure.
We'll do something with it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So if you want, call us at 1-800-967-3561. We'd love to hear from you.
And I believe we have a guest on the show today, and I don't know how to pronounce her name, so we're going to let you think you know?
Svetlana, the last name's tough. Javakhyan?
Good morning. Is this Svetlana?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Hi, Svetlana.
Hi.
I'm Diana.
Hi, Diana. Very nice to speak with you. Getting over the call, so I apologize. I'm a little stuffy.
So how do you pronounce your last name, Svetlana?
Javakhyan.
Javakhyan.
Yep, perfect.
Nice.
Okay, so we have been LinkedIn friends for a few, I don't know, do you say LinkedIn colleagues? I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So you are an enigma. How did you first get into the business? Let's just start with your entry. You were a musician and transitioned, I guess.
So I came to Boston and I came to studying here. I was offered a full scholarship and I completed my bachelor and master's degree in music performance. I had a little injury, which prevented me from continuing playing. So at that point, I always was fascinated with law or business. That's what I wanted to do all my life. So at that point, a friend of mine asked me, and I was considering going to either law school or pursuing MBA. And my friend said, well, why don't you give it a shot of real estate? You know, I've never had student loans, so that scared me. So he asked me, why don't you try real estate? And I started in real estate. I started in ERA, Boston Real Estate Group, Michael Carucci owned the company. So that's where I got started in 2006. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's been interesting. Yeah, I went through residential brokerage, property management, on-site property development, commercial, owned franchise, and done a lot of real estate business consulting.
Does ERA still operate in Boston? I think I saw Michael's gone to another company.
Yeah, Michael joined Sotheby's just very recently. We're still very good friends. We're still in touch. He's done a tremendous job for his business, so someone I definitely look up to, and I think he's doing really, really well.
Great. So you've worked at several real estate franchises.
Correct.
5 at the last count, is that right? Century 21, ERA, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, and Weichert?
Well, I am managing broker and vice president for Century 21 in Watertown. So,
okay.
And previously, yes, I was...
We should say Watertown, Massachusetts. We have an international viewership. We should just, not everyone understands.
Yeah, so it's in Watertown, Massachusetts.
USA.
United States, exactly. I can repeat that in a couple of different languages, but it's great to know that the radio show is heard everywhere, so that's
internationally.
So yeah, I have been with Weichert, which is the co-owner, and I've done coaching business consulting for Keller Williams.
So what do you think the difference is between the franchises and the independent brokerage?
Well, I think when it comes to franchises, the exposure is tremendous. I mean, being an independent broker, it's difficult. It's difficult when it comes to attracting the right talent. It's difficult when it comes to getting that exposure for the international clientele. I mean, we are a global business right now, so having that international exposure is huge. So I think when it comes to smaller brokerages, that it puts them in a little bit in disadvantage, because they just don't have the ability to have exposure, and also once you attract talent, you want to make sure that you nurture that talent and having the training that will support that talent's growth. So I think the challenges are there. But for smaller brokerages, I mean, it always remains mom and pop shop. Um,
Did you like being? Were you ever an independent in Medford? I think you were independent for
yes,
a little bit.
we started off as an independent. And due to the challenges that we've seen as a growing company, again, the lack of ability to train and coach upcoming talent, and not having the exposure to the international, national markets, that's why we decided that it was the best thing to do for us to move into a franchise.
So how did that work out?
That worked out well. It's different franchise model.
What company was that?
That was with Weikert.
Oh yeah, tell us all about them.
Well, would you like to know? Very great growing company. It wasn't exactly the model I wanted to pursue, so I have parted ways with that model.
So why didn't you like it?
It wasn't, for me, I think as a owner, for me it was important to grow my agents, to grow my talent, and I wanted to be somewhere where there was enough support to train and coach and be the consultant for the agents, and I found that I didn't have the opportunity then.
What town do you live in, if I could ask? Because it looks like you've covered Boston all the way up to New Hampshire with different offices.
I always remain Massachusetts girl. I live in close to South Boston, close to Castle Island. Well, that's where I run, so very convenient.
Nice.
Do you have a license in New Hampshire?
I'm a broker in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, as well as a licensed instructor for Massachusetts.
Licensed instructor. Okay. So I
so
have
you
that.
can teach license courses.
I have that license too. So you can run the real estate school.
We started our real estate school, and something that I would be pursuing in hopefully near future. But yes, that's what I have ability to do.
Very cool.
So how many brokers or agents would you say that you've mentored?
Well, many.
Countless.
Over 70, over 80 different, teams, companies, individual brokers. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I love that. I love the aspect of, myself. I do have my mentors as well. I said I have my coaches because, for me also to grow, I need to see the bigger picture. And sometimes we're just so stuck working in trenches. To see the bigger picture is important. So I love coaching and mentoring and training as well. It's very satisfying to see when you can take, a $6 million producer and help them double their business and then grow into even bigger teams. Definitely rewarding.
So let's see here. Do you recruit as well?
I do. Right now, we are growing, and my company offers tremendous opportunities for experienced agents and new agents as well. So I do recruit, and I'm looking for talent. Always looking for talent.
So what's this one here?
Okay. So I read it. So there was an article written about you. You said you got into real estate because you liked the architecture in Boston.
Correct.
And I guess that might have been a number of years ago where that was the decision, the reason that made you decide to go into to real estate. Looking back on it, do you realize that architecture isn't really what? Well, I don't know. You tell me. Is that what the business really is like now? Is that something? Has your opinion? Has your opinion changed since then?
No.
The buildings.
See,
Do you
I'm
focus
an
on the
artist.
buildings?
I'm an artist at heart. I started off in art, so I'm an artist at heart. So for me, architecture, interior design, and is very fascinating. So my opinion hasn't changed of why I got into the business. What the starting point was. I mean, I was frustrated with what Boston had to offer. I mean, I moved from Armenia to Poland to Austria, so for me that's always been very interesting to see, what we have in our city. So it hasn't changed, why I got into the business. Again, fascination with architecture was there, but also interest of law and growing business was always there too. So they went hand in hand. I remember that article. I believe that was Boston Globe 2006.
Oh, I don't know. There was a couple of
Yeah, we've
articles.
read a couple articles, yeah.
One was Banker and Tradesman. Yeah, it was probably the one that said Pulling Strings.
Yeah, that one was for real estate, rights of real estate in 2012 or 13.
So you've also mentioned in your articles that you have been lucky and you want to leave a legacy in real estate. How have you been lucky?
I've been very lucky. I met the right people. It's a difficult business, and I've seen too many people get into the business and unfortunately crash and burn. And I've been lucky enough where I met the right mentors, where everyone I worked with has been very supportive, and it's not an easy business to be in. And I've been lucky to surround myself with very positive, very driven people. My legacy is definitely, to me, I am successful only when I help someone else to be successful. So that's my legacy, I think. I want to make sure that enough people looking back will say, you know what, I was lucky to interact with her because she made me, helped me, or guided me to build my own business, my own lifestyle, support my family by doing what I love doing. So that's really the legacy.
Great.
Can you look into the future and think about where you'd like to be in, say, 5 or 10 years?
I have goals. Let's put it this way. I have business plans. I have goals. If I could look in the future with mindset of, what I would like to see, yes, I would like to be able to still have several offices that are prosperous, of course. But again, ultimately taking someone who has, you just have to remember where I came. I came to this country on my own. And everything that I've established, I worked really hard. So if I can help someone to get there too, I think opportunities are endless. So 5-10 years from now, I would just probably would like to see someone else being successful, someone else building the life they want.
You're a good role model.
Question that you wanted to hear, but
Oh, that's great. What do you do with your social media?
I love LinkedIn. I am devoted about LinkedIn. I have taught many classes about LinkedIn, so that's my portal. I use LinkedIn for building businesses. I don't just contact people randomly. I make sure that if I find a potential partner that we can establish business relationship, I do follow up with them. I do talk to them. We do meet. I've met tremendous people through LinkedIn that I was actually one of the bigger development companies that I met was through LinkedIn, and the gentleman was at that time in Utah, and I was about to go snowboarding in Utah. So we connected and we met in Utah. I had a great conversation, and that's a great contact that I keep. So LinkedIn for me is big. I have Facebook page, but that's more personal. I keep it very personal.
So the LinkedIn platform you're on, you pay for that, right? It's not the free version of it.
Well, I used to pay for LinkedIn platform before, and I have discovered that actually the free version offers a lot of opportunities as well. If I need if I need a connection, I have enough connections where I can ask people to get introduced. So at this point, I haven't seen benefit for me to pay for it. With that said, for anyone who is looking to build out of LinkedIn, I would say it will be a good way to start with a free account and slowly build up, and then possibly pay for an account to establish more connections and have more exposure, and then decide from there if that's what works for them. I mean, ultimately, it has to be in your marketing budget if you want to do it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on LinkedIn. I don't think I use it correctly. So, do you you actually reach out to, like they give you suggestions, you might know this person. If you don't know them, but you say, well, they're in the same industry as I am, and then you send them a short little note. I think it brings up something, says, are you a colleague, and what business, and eventually it's going to ask you for their email address. I don't know, it's a little complex. So how do you use it, Svetlana?
If, let's say you and I have a connection, and I really would like to connect to your connection, Jim, I would request an introduction from you. That's the way, you don't have to have the email address, and you could introduce me to that person. I think that, there are so many, there are 2-3 different degrees of separation from being connected to someone. So finding the connection who can introduce you to next connection is the best way to go. And it's also a great way to reach out to someone you haven't spoken in a while. So that's how I would use it. I wouldn't randomly just, if I haven't had a conversation with someone, I wouldn't randomly just try to connect with them. And if I do, on a rare occasions, if I do that, I do state in my message why I think we would be a good connection and why I'm requesting the connection, if they would be interested to continue communication and possibly have a phone conversation if we are in different states, in different countries, or meet for a coffee to discuss mutually beneficial opportunities. I welcome connections if somebody thinks that I can help them with anything. I always invite people to look through my connections. If you think someone could be beneficial for your business, just let me know how I can help and how they can be beneficial, and I'll be happy to facilitate the introduction.
So you reach out past the internet format. You just pick up the phone and give them a call.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we're in a business of building relationships. If there is no relationship, there is no partnership.
Right.
Yeah. Pick up the phone, have a conversation.
So, so you work for 5 different brands, and they all had different business models, right? Mm-hmm. Was there one in particular that you liked better than others, or one in particular that you didn't like? I don't need you to throw anybody under the bus, and you don't have to name names, but you've been with Century 21 now for how long?
I joined the company because about 2 months ago.
2 months, okay.
Because of their model, and I can go more deeper into.
Well, they were the first big franchise. I mean, they've always been around.
Well, the amazing thing about Century 21 Commonwealth, it's a completely different view. Founders have established completely different model and view how they are growing the business and how helping agents. Again, they're very much in line with my thought process of building relationships, helping agents establish themselves and building a lifestyle rather just doing this as a hobby. So their thinking is very much in line with mine when you want to provide the support and ability for growth, and the model, having the agents the ability to transfer to 95 and 100% of commission split. I mean, that's huge for someone who is growing a really serious business that ultimately someday they can sell. That's huge. Have I done mistakes with some franchises? Yes. Do I think some models don't necessarily agree with my viewpoints? Yes. All of them have something good to offer. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus because I do think all of them have something good to offer. At the end of the day, though, when it comes to agents, it's finding the model that will benefit their growth. And to me, right now, I wholeheartedly believe in what we are offering as a Century 21 Commonwealth. And I'll be happy to sit down and have one.
Okay, it's not a commercial. It's not a commercial. Oh.
What would I do if I can't promote myself?
Yeah, well. So let's talk about Keller Williams. So I met a lot of Keller Williams brokers, and I found one once that knew someone that understood the system.
I still don't get it, and I've had several people explain it to me.
So they got a check one month for like $200, and they had no idea why they got the check. I said, well, there must be a calculation. Did you understand the calculation, how that works?
Yes, I do. And
Were you there for 3 years? Are you vested, as they say?
I was not vested.
Ah, yeah. See, that's okay.
So there's no more checks.
Yeah, I can talk about KW and what I think about the 3-year thing, but yeah. So you understood it, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
So how does that
Of
work?
course, top five numbers. I mean, no, it's very simple. It's 7 level of introduction to the company. Just to put it in a layman's terms without going into details, 7 levels that you introduce someone, that someone else introduces someone else introduces someone else.
Well, like
there's 7
multi-level
levels
marketing.
of how you can benefit from all those introductions to the company. Once you're vested into the company, that profit share remains with you lifetime. It's just it's introduction on introduction upon introduction upon introduction.
How did you get from South Boston to Southern New Hampshire?
When I was looking to purchase a franchise, I was looking on a different model. I was looking actually on Keller Williams model as well. I was researching them, and I made friends with the regional director, and he made an introduction to the owner in New Hampshire.
Wow.
Very simple. Again, I'm a relationship person.
And it was a commute every day, or you were mentoring?
I did commute. The
Skype.
company had 3 different offices in Maine, and one in Maine and one in Wolfboro. So it was a commute daily, and one of the reasons that I couldn't just beat the traffic. The traffic got out of the best out of me. You see, I run, I play golf,
Snowboard. At Snowbird.
Hang with tigers. We saw a picture
Oh,
of you with
yeah.
a tiger.
I didn't have time to do that. The traffic got the best out of me.
Well, yeah. Where was the tiger? I have a tiger picture from Thailand.
Yes. Well, my boyfriend and I would travel to Singapore and Thailand, and so he knew how much I like tigers, and he made sure I had the ability to pet one.
That's wonderful.
So you were in was it Thailand? Was it Tiger Kingdom?
It was a tiger kingdom where.
Chiang Mai?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was.
That's
yeah.
Jim was in the same place.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, there were the big cats.
Yeah.
Svetlana, are you still an agent? Do you still sell properties?
I don't compete with my agents.
You're on Trulia with KW still. Are you aware of that?
I am aware of that, and I've been trying to get that account turned off, and for some reason I'm having an issue with that. So.
They still charging you?
No.
Yeah, because that's usually the best way to get their attention.
No,
Stop
I haven't been with Trulia in I think about 6 years. So I don't know.
So I didn't bring it up. What do you think of Trulia?
What do you think of advertising on Trulia and paying for it?
Or Zulia, whatever. Zillow?
I think it's Zulia.
The Zulia.
That's what's coming
Zulia
now.
Oh, it's going to be one.
I heard someone said Zulia.
Advertising that an agent is going to do and go do consistently with a focus and commit to it. If it works for them, do it. Again, if it's in your budget and you have really devoted full attention to it, and yeah, do it. But if you're going to wait for that magic to happen by paying, putting money somewhere and not following through, it's not going to happen. It's like I always say, it's like playing golf. You can't just hit the ball and wait for it to land the right space. You need to follow through. So if it works for someone, if they're committed and that's their platform they're using for their market presence, do it. If you're going just to wait for magic to happen, no.
So in your mentoring, what would be your number one suggestion to a broker just starting out?
Number one, to someone who's starting out, it would be get to know the market, know your statistics, know your numbers in and out. Set up a calendar where you are committed to doing activities on a daily basis, and start being a business owner right from day one. And at the end of the day, evaluate if you were the one who hired you. Would you keep yourself or would you fire yourself? but commitment to really, getting to know the market, understanding the market, understanding contracts, understanding like everything that you won't have, you will do it down the road, but do right from the start. Set up good habits right from day one. That would be my advice for someone who's just starting off.
And what about someone who's been doing it for, let's say, 10 years, and in your opinion, doing it wrong? What would you tell them that they should do?
It can vary greatly from person to person, and there is question is what does mean doing it wrong.
Well, they're not making enough money.
Well, then what are they doing?
That's doing it wrong.
We would definitely sit and get a closer look on their business plan, and what are they doing? Are they just spending money for the sake of spending and not tracking their numbers? If you're doing marketing, do you know your return investment? If really going into details of their business plan, do you have a solid business plan? If you've been 10 years in a business and you are not making money, well, how are you sustaining yourself? This is not a hobby. This is business you're running. So it really varies from person to person.
Which brings me to my next question. So you're managing an office, and let's say there's 30 agents in it, and there's only like a dozen listings. Do you take a look at those statistics and you say, okay, I have a lot of dead wood in the office, and do you clean house and then rehire, or do you take the dead wood and retrain them? What do you do with part-time people? I guess that's a two-part question.
Well, if somebody, if I have people who are not producing, is looking into why they're not producing. Are they properly trained? Do they understand really what needs to happen? Before I let anyone go, I would give them a chance to really make a commitment to themselves. It's not a commitment to me. If you make a commitment to yourself that this is what you want, I'll be happy to guide you there. But if this is not what you want and you're doing it part-time, then I don't know if this is the right career. It's not even if I'm the right brokerage, if it's the right career. Let's reevaluate, what is your goal. So yeah, I will give people a chance to really find themselves in this business, but they ultimately have to want it. If they don't want it, I can't make someone, it's like, I can't make someone want it.
And what about the
themselves, but I cannot drink the water for themselves.
And what about the part-timers? What do you do with them? The ones that may do some business someday.
Depends on what does mean for them to be part-time. I have seen people who have done it part-time very successfully and then transition full-time. If this is the goal to transition to full-time, I have people who have moved from corporate world and they said, enough is enough. I want to run my business, but I want to get started slowly because this is the first time I ever sold real estate. So, okay, what is the end goal? Let's figure out what is the end goal. And I want to build a strong office. I want to make sure that people who are working there, they feed off each other with knowledge and drive.
So I met someone yesterday. He's doing another job, and he's going to school for all these different things, and he's trying to get a business degree. And he met me. He said, "Oh, you must have got a business degree or something." I said, "No, that's not where I came from. I was pre-med," and he was kind of surprised. And he said, I'm thinking of going into real estate. I'm going to do it part-time. I'm going to do it in the evenings and the weekends. And I immediately just smiled and I shook my head. And he says, yeah, I know. I've been told that you can't do that. Well, what would you say to him? I personally don't think you can do that, but what do you think?
Doing it part-time is just like being a little bit pregnant.
Very true. That's a very good analogy.
Can you really do that, right?
Yeah, so being part-time is not being in the business at all.
Yeah.
Again,
maybe wait and see. Maybe you get lucky.
That's actually what I've always told anybody who would say, well, I just do it part-time. So never say that. You do it full-time. No matter where you are, you're meeting people. No matter where you are, there's always an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't just shut it off.
Goal, though. At the end of the day, what is your end goal? Are you planning to learn? Is it a part-time stage where you're learning and you're not practicing? And then you want to transition? What does it mean to you to be part-time? I mean, I have people who are working with other people. They're not doing it, and I know people who are not doing it full-time, but they're working with other people who are full-time. So in this market, what we are seeing right now, if you're part-time, you're not. What is the end goal?
Well, if you're doing it part-time now, you're missing out on a great opportunity, I guess.
You're not building a business.
Well,
It's a hobby.
Yeah, there are brokers that jump in and jump out depending on how what's that?
Evan.
Oh, time. So Svetlana, we'll wrap up, but a couple other questions. You do your own PR, or do you have a PR firm that helps you?
As of right now, we're talking with a PR firm that we're looking to engage. Yes, we are.
I'm saying you personally in the past, like when the.
Past, I have used PR. I have not done it in the past 2-3 years now, but in the past I definitely have used PR. As a brokerage, I find that if you want to grow and you want to get your message across, you need PR.
I think we covered everything, huh? No? We already talked about the future.
We already talked about the future. Well, it moves fast.
Do you think you're ready to write a book about real estate yet?
I don't know if not yet. I have possibly, someday maybe I will more write it as a business, but not yet. I think that, I still have a lot of growing up to do.
The Pulling Strings title, that's a good one, right?
It's a good one.
Did you come up with that?
Did you come up with that?
No, I didn't. I'm not that creative.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. So
Now we covered everything.
now we covered everything.
All right. Well, maybe you can come in someday and do a show with us, Svetlana.
I would love to.
Right
I
around
really
the corner.
appreciate the invitation, and I really do appreciate this conversation too. So I'm so happy to be, thank you for the interview, and I'd love to.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
Svetlana.
much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye.
That's good.
That was great.
So you want to talk about your?
I'll
we'll do it next time?
Okay. We'll do it next time, but we're going to do it this time quickly. So I brought up Svetlana's book in the future.
Yes.
I wrote a book, Go Pro. Can you see it? Your $1 Million Year in Real Estate. So if you need a copy
That's a little
immediately,
teaser.
yeah, you run right now to the computer and you go to yourmilliondollaryear.com.
I'm Diana Doherty.
I'm Jim Lowenstern.
This is Real Estate on Sunday. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. See you next week.
Sometimes you got to go back.